class tonight I'm going to be presenting on ride-sharing companies that are going to start to use automated vehicles or vehicles that will be self-driving that don't need drivers in them. Tell you the history behind what's going on, what companies are thinking about using them, what the holdups are, and when we should be expecting to see them coming up. Hope you enjoy. All right, again, good evening. We're going to start with the self-driving cars for ride sharing. Let's get into the world of the Jetsons. All right, so since we began creating machines, we've tried to automate them. In the world of transportation, however, when we're talking about airplanes or cars or whatnot, we have autopilot that goes on airplanes, as we know. We have self-guided missiles that was new from just shooting a really big missile to a trajectory to them actually putting in GPS coordinates and having it direct itself to our target. Magic carpets, who doesn't want one? Haha, just a joke. Marine autopilot, which is the same thing that has to do with the airplanes, however, obviously with vessels used for shipping or wartime or recreation on big yachts or whatnot, as well as conductorless trains. So the trains that have less control from an actual manual conductor seem to be safer than those with humans at the realms of control due to human error. So that's always been looked into on every machine we pretty much put out there when it comes to transportation. Now let's take a look at some history when it comes to self-driving vehicles, or what they thought of way back when.
Only one thing is needed for safety, and that's a careful driver. If the manufacturer could equip every car with an automatic driving mechanism, the car would always do just what it should do when it got out on the road. With such a driving control, the car wouldn't pull away from the curb without signaling or looking back for oncoming traffic. With such a driving control, the car would keep in line instead of weaving in and out of traffic. With such control, it would always get into the proper lane before turning. It would always obey boulevard stop signs. With an automatic driving mechanism, the car would stop before cutting into traffic. It wouldn't pass other cars on dangerous curves. And it would always come to a stop before crossing a railroad.
The different ride-sharing companies that we have so far or that we're familiar with are Uber, Lyft, Curb, Sidecar, and they have a huge one over there in China, Didi Qizeng. Let's just hope I'm saying that correctly. The different companies that are involved in self-driving automobiles thus far are Google, that's making the technology for Toyota and Lexus. We have Mercedes-Benz doing their own thing. Delphi is is in charge of technology for Audi. Nissan is working with by themselves. Bosch is working for BMW. No surprise there. They've been partners for a long time. And Tesla. Tesla's doing their own thing, their own company, their own technology, brand new. They're huge in the industry. Let's check out one of the videos that they had with a Uber self-driving vehicle.
So a lot of people say that the future of transportation is self-driving cars. We're standing next to one right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's owned by Uber, and we're going to get behind the wheel and drive it ourselves. Well, I guess the car's going to actually drive itself, and I'm just going to be sitting there. So let's go check it out. Oh, did I mention I don't know how to drive? All right. I'm ready Ready to engage. I'm going to engage the car into self-driving mode right now. And I do that by pushing the silver button to my right. So the white light turned on from blue, and the car is now driving itself. Passing by some factories here, some beautiful old. This is the Heinz factory here to the left. They definitely have the impulse to put my foot on the gas, even though it's doing it all itself. So I'll turn back here and say, hey, what's up? But I'm not going to do that. And it's accelerating a little bit because we're going up a hill, but now it's slowing down. And it's stopping. And it did it all by itself. I'm very proud of you, car. The turn signal came on automatically, and now it's turning itself onto this bridge. And it just did that all by. That's incredible. Okay, so this guy jagged out into our lane, so I decided to take control of the car so that we don't die. What they're telling me is that it knows how fast to go. It knows what the speed limit is because Uber has mapped the city. And so it has programmed into its software how fast we can go depending on where we are in the city. If we were to go somewhere that was unmapped, the car would refuse to go into autonomy mode. It's taking us a little close to those parked cars, but okay, it kind of moved to the left there a little bit. It kicked us out again. That's all right. There's a lot of obstacles on this road, so maybe this is a road that you would want to be in control yourself. So I'm now driving the self-driving car, and I just want to say, screw you, robots. All right, now it is driving itself. We're approaching Uber's technology center here, and we're here. Success. We survived. Cool. So Uber says that the ultimate goal is to have a system in place where there's no drivers in these cars, that you basically pull out your phone, tap the app, and a car comes to your home with nobody in it, and it'll take you to your destination. Travis Kalanick, the CEO of Uber, has talked about an idea of perpetual trips, that the cars are just constantly picking people up, dropping them off, sort of akin to mass transit in a way, but obviously automated, totally automated, and running itself. We got a chance to see some of that up close. It's obviously in its very early stages here, but it was really cool to see, especially be behind the wheel as the car was driving itself. It felt very fluid, very natural. I was only scared maybe half a second when it got a little bit close to some parked cars, but other than that, it's clear that this is a technology that's well on its way, and it'll be really interesting to see how Uber rolls this out in the future. So for more videos like this, go to theverge.com or youtube.com/theverge.
Obviously, as you saw, it wasn't fail-proof. Didn't really go exactly as expected. It had to, the person doing the test drive actually had to step in and take over the controls, but it was pretty good. In this video here, you can see how Uber had an issue with one of their cars that got into an accident. 2 people were inside. Uber's self-driving vehicles were just that. They would drive themselves, but there was a human inside with the vehicle in case anything were to happen. Unfortunately, here they crashed. There were no major injuries, but nobody wants to be in a vehicle when it crashes, obviously. So they're gonna have to work that out. Seems to be that we're 6 to 12 months away from actually having ride-sharing apps using automated vehicles. However, we've been hearing this for a while, so we'll just keep believing the lie that they're telling us. Hopefully they could get it going pretty soon. As you can see in the picture, this kind of depicts how the technology works, with GPS and sensors being all around the vehicles and them having to communicate with each other. So just a quick review. If we were to start using ride-sharing apps with automated vehicles, the only way that it seems that it could be possible or even safe is if all the vehicles on the road were using the automated system. The reason is because it would cut out all human error. So you can't just cut out human error in the vehicle you're in, but you also need to have some type of control about the other drivers on the road, pedestrians, so on and so forth. So to be able to properly predict what the other vehicles are going to do, everybody needs to be on the same system. If all the cars are automated, such as maybe riding a metro system in one of the metropolitan areas. All the different trains talk to each other, or the computer figures out what the other person's doing, what the other car is doing, so that it could properly adjust itself. So that's probably the only way that automated vehicles and automated system can work for ride sharing. So what does this really mean? Uber was the only ride-sharing app that had started to use or wanted to start to use the automated vehicles. However, because of not only issues with their automated vehicles thus far, but other company pressures that have been going on, they decided to put that on hold for a little while. Uber has been catching a lot of heat and a lot of pressure from not only their market, but society overall. So they had some issues when it came to the ban on immigrants and how they were showing lack of compassion to that. So a lot of people were boycotting them, and then shortly after that, they released a lot of the issues that they were having with automated vehicles. So they decided to just put a hold on that program, as Dr. Mascara has highlighted in some of our chats. So are we looking forward to it? Of course we are as a society. Are we there yet where we can depend on it? No, but hopefully we will be. Hopefully, of course, when it comes to technology and moving forward in that realm. However, that would really put a damper on a lot of these Uber drivers that are making a living off of ride sharing apps and technology that we have thus far. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good night.